All right. So normally I will start this off by saying, "How you doing, Dolphin fans?" I think I know how you Dolphin fans are doing. Confused, afraid, petrified, annoyed, disbelief, discombobulated, incredulous, apoplectic. That's that's just the start. That's just the start. There's so much to get into here. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tua and the Green Bay situation, where we think we are now, what Tua should do or what should be done around him, the Dolphins' options with or without Tua, and some suggestions for Tua should he decide to continue to throw himself out there. So, by now, everybody knows Tua's in a concussion protocol. You've all seen the play where it's likely, it's likely that he got hit, and that's where he took the concussion. Now, just a little bit about the Green Bay game. On one hand, it seems like it would be the easiest, obvious thing to say, well, no wonder he played like crap in the second half. Now let's look at that a little bit. Now, there's a part of me that wants to say some of those three interceptions, excuse me, especially the last one was a what in the hell are you doing moment, right? Right? The first one you could see was an overthrow. The second one, definite miscommunication. The third one, you got Wilson and Hill underneath, wide open. They would still be running right now. We would not even haven't kicked the extra point yet because they would still be running in all likelihood, especially Hill. Having him wide open underneath like that, and he throws to Gesicki, who was kind of open if you make the throw over the corner. And even if the corner doesn't intercept that ball, looks like it's going to be short of Gesicki. No clue what he was doing, right? But here's the thing. We have seen Tua make from time to time, especially in his first couple of years, we've all sat there on the couch and go, what the hell are you doing, right? We've all done that, which is what has made that in by itself is kind of why the fan base is a little bit bipolar when it comes to Tua, because you watch him play well and you think, here we go, and then he does one of those plays where you're like, what in the hell was that? And even somebody like myself who wants to root for the guy, obviously, like, I don't know. We just don't know. So when now, of course, in hindsight, he goes Monday to the doctors and says, hey, I'm having these symptoms, and they put him in concussion protocol. Now, with that context, you look at those three throws and what Tua said in his press conference, where he said with the second interception, he might have called the wrong play. There was definite miscommunication. So, the first one was an overthrow, which is, it happens, but it was a wild overthrow, right? Okay. The second one being the miscommunication. Could he have already been having some confusion, some concussion related issues? The third one is so inexplicably bad that I would rather it be explained away by the concussion than just he had a brain fart on the field, because I don't know which one is more fixable. Now, there are some people that are saying, look, in terms of his accuracy, in terms of how he normally throws the ball, that it's possible that late hit, or the hit late in the game in Houston. Remember, we kept him out there maybe a series or two too long, and then he took a hit where he was, he got sandwiched between two guys, and then the couple of games after that, he wasn't exactly 100% right. He was making some good throws, but then he was making some throws interceptions that were dropped, okay? So we don't really know exactly how long this has been affecting him, if it hasn't been affecting him. And the thing of it is other people are saying, well, he played okay in the third quarter. Look, when you get a concussion or something like that, you're not necessarily just completely incapacitated, okay? Think of it as if you were drinking and you've had too much to drink, but you drive anyway, right? So it doesn't, just because you're drunk and you're driving, it's not a guarantee you're going to crash. your perceptions are off. Your reaction times are off. How many times do you hear somebody who was drinking, they get into the accident, and what do they say? I didn't even see the car there. I didn't even see him, which is very similar to what happened with Tua's last interception. So it's not like you go out there and you get the concussion. It's not always immediately obvious. There's also the possibility that Tua was kind of feeling weeble wobbly, but kept it to himself because of his history and the importance of the game, etc., etc. That possibility exists, and I'm not criticizing him for that. In fact, when I posted on Twitter when it first happened, the first round of concussion issues around the Buffalo-Cincinnati game, and my opinion was that, come on, you really think he would lie? And I just got blasted by, a few former players and guys that have been around the locker rooms and everything. And they say, yeah, man, these dudes, they will lie. They will do whatever they can to hide concussion symptoms. So I'm not criticizing him for that. I'm saying that as far as the people in the know, the people that have been around players, they'll tell you these guys will hide symptoms. Okay, so he's in concussion protocol. Now, we've got all these options. First of all, forget about this Sunday. And to be honest, for me, as a starting point, as it should just be no brain, you're done for the year. And I know as Dolphin fans, we don't want to hear that, but there's no way this guy's health is more important, obviously, where I should be. His health is more important than us going out there and winning, okay? Let's face it, we're going to be the 7 seed. Tua or no Tua, you think we're going to Kansas City and then to Buffalo and winning those games, then to get to the AFC Championship game? Come on, okay? That ain't happening. It would have been some kind of miraculously fantastic thing that happened to this fan base if we stayed healthy and beat Kansas City on the road for the first playoff game. That would have been as miraculous and as hopeful as we could have gotten. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is likely to play. Skyler didn't exactly light it up in his couple of times on the field this year. He hadn't exactly looked good, which is understandable. Although you look over at Brock Purdy and you're like, Skyler, you see what Brock is doing? What's going on there? But I think the smart play here, the condensed version, is you put Bridgewater in. He's a veteran guy. Run the same exact offense. I know there's people who think just run the ball, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. But run the same offense, because how many times have we been bitching when Tua makes a mistake and you watch the replay, there's guys wide open all over the field on 3/4 of our offensive snaps. Run the same system, and for the love of all things peanut butter and jelly, just tell Bridgewater, it ain't rocket science. Send these guys, this is what we do. We send these guys, all of them, the whole offense, including McDaniel, and have them go watch highlights of Marino, because we want to show them how many times Marino just dumped it off to Kirby and Byers, Parmalee, Aaron Craver. How many times, especially Byers and Kirby, just dump it off to them. Keep the drive going, you get a first down. Now, you add that in with the fact that our running backs are completely ignored in the passing game. They're wide open half the freaking time, at least half. And they're all fast. It shouldn't be as complicated as McDaniel and this offense is making it. Belichick won Super Bowls taking what teams will give him. Shula won Super Bowls taking what teams will give them. The good offenses will take what the other team is giving them. What do you think Brady's been doing all these years? Okay? If you got double coverage there and this dude over here is open and you can hit him for 7 yards, you do it. It shouldn't be this complicated. So I believe Bridgewater can come in, and if McDaniel plays and creates a smart game plan running this offense, I think we should beat the Patriots. I think the Seahawks will beat the Jets, and somehow we're going to limp into the playoffs. That's what I think is going to happen. The Jets game won't matter. I think it's going to get to that point where it won't matter. We're going to be the 7th seed no matter what. You rest them. You rest some guys. You give Skyler the Jets game because we know Teddy. He has a tendency to get hurt. Okay, not kidding. You give Teddy this game, win the game, get in the playoffs, clinch your 7th seed, and get him the hell off the field. Because any hope we have at Kansas City, which is likely to be Kansas City or Buffalo or Cincinnati, any hope we have in any of those games, number one, you got to keep Teddy healthy. So, Tua. Let's get into Tua. This is either concussion number 2 or number 3, depending on what you believe happened after the Buffalo game. Now, I have a little bit of knowledge, and I have just enough knowledge to be dangerous. I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? I've been a massage therapist. I've studied a lot of acupuncture. I know enough to know that what Tua was saying about his back injury making him stumble like that is completely feasible and possible. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm saying what he said is completely feasible, possible. I believe him. I've seen it happen. Okay. That said, the likelihood, the way that he hit himself, was a concussion, especially considering what happened against Cincinnati. So this time he's got concussion symptoms. He's in the protocol. They haven't announced whether he has an official concussion or if it's just the protocol. So this could just be being overly cautious, overly safe. Here's the thing. The hit in Buffalo was just a shove, and he goes down, slams his head in the back. This hit against the Packers, he gets caught from behind. He lands to where he should, and this is what I'm going to get into here with Tua. He should, as a professional athlete, have enough upper body strength and mobility when he lands to support himself enough to where he doesn't do what he did, which is flip on his back somehow and smash his head right against the carpet. Now, for us lay people, if we get hit like that, it's likely we're going to fall in all sorts of awkward ways. I've never seen a professional athlete with less of an ability to brace himself for a hit than Tua. We watch him all the time get bent like a pretzel. He gets twisted and thrown around, etc., etc. Now, personally, I feel like at the very, very, very minimum, done for the rest of the year. Take some time during the off season. Have the doctors really look at you and make a decision. I'm not going to sit here and say he should or shouldn't retire. I'm not a doctor. I haven't seen his films. We know how the optics look, but we also know in this internet world, man, the optics sometimes ain't exactly how it is. Okay? It could have been all he has is a headache, and they put him in concussion protocol, and it turns out he's got some virus that's giving him a migraine. This could be a whole. By the time I'm done recording this, it could be like he's fine and he's throwing in practice. We don't know. But if he's going to stay, if he's going to continue to play, here's my suggestion from my personal experience. Growing up, I did about 7 or 8 years of martial arts, and one of the biggest, most important things they teach you, especially when you're doing it as kids, what they teach you is they teach you how to fall. They teach you the exercises to strengthen those particular muscles. Okay, we did specific exercises just to make our forearms stronger than they normally would be, so that we had that strength to brace our falls when we got thrown. I was in judo, so judo is there's a lot of throws in judo. So for me, watching him fall, I'm as somebody, anybody who's been in martial arts, I'm sure you're looking at it and feeling it the same way. You're watching him fall, and you're going, dude, tuck and roll. Like, brace yourself a little bit. Make a ball fist. Do something to brace your fall. But he is it's like watching a rag doll fall and just get thrown all over the place almost every time he gets tackled. If he's going to stay playing football, my suggestion would be get some serious martial arts training combined with upper body strength and flexibility training that isn't going to ruin his ergonomics of throwing. So it's a delicate balance, right? That's why you don't see quarterbacks that are all jacked, because if you just suddenly go take an off season and put on 20 pounds of upper body muscle in the gym, your throwing motion is going to be all screwed up. You don't see quarterbacks doing that. A lot of times you see quarterbacks with their shirt, in a t-shirt, in their arms, they kind of look a little bit flabby and they don't look like they're football players. But they have to be that way. Same a lot of way with baseball pitchers. You don't see baseball pitchers that are walking out there looking like bodybuilders, because you don't want to screw with their throwing motion. So I get it; it's a delicate balance. But man, judo or jiu-jitsu, that would be, if I was anywhere near that team as a trainer. I've been a personal trainer before. Like I said, I was a massage therapist. If I was anywhere near that team, I would be suggesting get some judo, jiu-jitsu training, and upper body flexibility, maybe some yoga. And some of you might be laughing at that, but I think Tua's biggest problem, besides the fact that now obviously he's had the concussions and he makes it more prone, is his complete inability to brace for a fall. Because that little shove he took in Buffalo, or that hit that he took the other day in Green Bay, that is unavoidable in football. And if he's going to get concussions because he gets knocked down like that and he can't brace himself properly, the dude's going to end up seriously hurt, medically injured for the rest of his life. He has to either retire or spend the off season learning how to fall, learning how to brace yourself. That was the first thing they did. I was 6 years old when I started judo. I might have been 7. And the first thing you do, and not just the first thing, but like the beginning of class, the first half hour of class, was doing rollouts and learning how to fall. It's absolutely imperative, if he's going to come back and continue to play, that he does that. Now, what about the Dolphins? What do we do now? Okay. Now, bear with me here. I don't want to get ripped in the comments for bringing up this guy's name. I know he's a flawed quarterback. But regardless of whether Tua comes back or not, I'm looking around the NFL and I'm thinking, okay, who's a guy that, I'll just say it, Jimmy G. He has his pros, he has his cons. If nothing else, he would be a much better backup option. He would be a solid backup option if Tua comes back and plays next year. For the 5 to 7 games, we know Tua's going to be hurt, right? So that's part of this team's problem, is both years when Tua has gotten hurt, except for if Patrick was here, but Brisket was terrible. Okay, Bridgewater and Skyler ain't ready. Clearly, he's got some potential, but is he ready to be that backup for next year? It's possible. Jimmy G's going to be a free agent. Look, I know he's flawed, but he's also a capable guy, especially in the short yardage. Okay, if you don't ask him to do too much. I'm not saying he's a future franchise quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to replace Tua. But you look at the Dolphin team, and you have to look at him and say, yeah, you only get a window here for so long. All right? Waddle's young, but Tyreek's only going to be the cheetah for how many more years before he loses that one more step? We're kind of in win now mode, right? We're kind of in win now mode, okay? I'm just saying. That's one guy. I'm sure you guys will have other people, and I'm not like married to that, but I guess my point being there is that this what is it? Jimmy G or somebody in that caliber to be either to his backup, okay, to possibly come in and be the starter. Because let's say Tua retires. Let's just, some of you might be going, all right, but think about it. let's say press conference, boom, Tua's retired. Where are we? We're not going to draft a guy with, we don't have, okay, we're not going to draft a guy to win now. Teddy? No. Skyler? I don't know, man. He could turn into Brock Purdy, but the 49ers have a better team than us. Okay? They've got a better defense. They're better. They're just better. Okay? Jimmy G, somebody like him. Okay? In that vein, a guy that, I know Jimmy throws a few too many interceptions. Not this year, though. 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So I think if Tua comes back, you've got to have a more viable, NFL starter caliber backup, because if Tua comes back, he's going to miss games. And we can't afford to just, Tua's out for 3 weeks. We know we ain't winning any of these games. You know what I mean? We can't afford that. No NFL team can. But you look at what's happened in San Francisco. I mean, Lance, Garoppolo balled. And now they're both gone and Brock Purdy's playing well. A lot of times it's about the system. All you need is your quarterback to not screw it up. So that's unfortunately one option I think we have to look at no matter what. Whether Tua decides, whether all of a sudden Tua's better and plays on Sunday, or whether he retires, I think we need to start looking at look around the NFL. And I say free agents because, I know some people are going to say Lamar Jackson, but we don't have the draft capital. You know the Ravens are going to tag him. And what we'd have to give up to get him would ruin the reason to even get him. It wouldn't make any sense. And he tends to be injured as well. So regardless of what we do, I think what this is shining a light on is we got to stop playing it just like the backup quarterback position is a throwaway. I guess that's what I'm saying here is we got to stop treating the backup quarterback position like it don't matter, because we keep having seasons partially ruined because our backup quarterbacks play like ass. So what a shame, man. What a shame. And there's so many angles to it now, because I'm talking about what people are saying on Twitter. There's people who are upset thinking Tua knew that he wasn't feeling right and went out there anyway against the Packers. There's people that think the Dolphins knew that he wasn't right but threw him out there anyway. That is just absurd considering the history here. And then you look at the rest of this season, and I believe we're going to make the playoffs. And I believe that we're going to go into this offseason with more questions than answers, because even if Tua comes back, even if he misses this game, comes back against the Jets, we go to the playoffs, we lose the playoff game, even if that happens, you're still going to next season, with the question mark of what are we going to do? Is Tua going to be the guy? Can he stay healthy? And if he continues to be knocked around and thrown around like he is now, no, he's not going to be the guy. He's going to be the example of the guy that stayed too long in the NFL and shoulda, woulda, coulda retired when he still had his brain intact. That's the guy he's fixing to be. And I don't like to say that, but the truth is the truth. We all see it. He gets thrown around like he's a rag doll. Is he physically capable of learning how to not allow that to happen? Don't know. But if he's going to stay around, if he's going to continue to play, he has to do something to learn and teach himself how to fall properly. And Dolphins have this decision with his fifth-year option and the whole thing. It's such a and the fan base is so polarized against it. You see people saying, "Oh, I can't believe you guys are giving up on Tua already." What do you mean already? This could be his third concussion in a few months. There's no already about that. If you say, "Hey, that's it. I've seen enough. We need another quarterback," I think 2-3 concussions, that's enough. There's no already. Okay, we've seen what Tua can be when he's completely healthy, but either he was concussed against Green Bay, or he had quite possibly the worst fourth quarter that any quarterback has had in the modern era, healthy. You see what I'm saying? So, all right. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm not. I'm neither nor. I'm not a Twinnier. I'm not somebody that doesn't like them. The way my brain works and why I've done the Panthers videos for so long and how it's worked for me when I was a trainer and been a coach and everything, my brain, I was a proofreader for the proofreader. What that meant was it was a printing company, and they would proof the art, and the typesetter would proof the art, and the pressman would proof the art. 3 or 4 people would proof it, right? And nobody would find any mistakes. In my brain, give me that same piece of paper, I'll find 3 mistakes in 30 seconds. I can see what's wrong with things like it's nobody's business. So when I watch Tua and I watch this offense, I'm not screaming about, hey, why did you throw, why did you do this? I'm looking at, look, this dude was open. This is what's wrong. Not that you threw in the double coverage so much and it wasn't a great throw, but you're not this is what you're missing. You're not recognizing that these guys are open. This offense works. If you watch a lot of the film reviews and Tua's bad plays, 90% of them, who's ever doing the review can say, well, this guy was open, this guy was open. The system works. Okay? And with Hill and Waddle and Wilson and Mostert, we got enough talent to win a Super Bowl on offense. All we need is a quarterback that can stay upright and move around enough to find the open guy. Because there's going to be an open guy. 99% of the time, 90, maybe not 99. 9 plays out of 10, there's going to be an open guy, and there's going to be an open, fast guy. And all you got to do is stand there long enough to get him the ball. It's not a big ask for the quarterback in this system. It really isn't. So, all right. Appreciate all the support. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Today is Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow with another Dolphins video. I'm going to start catching up on some Panther stuff tomorrow, and then Thursday all the games start back up, so we start rocking and rolling. Don't forget, January 5th, big, hugely big, large change coming to the channel. Addition, not a change, addition. Nothing is leaving, something new is coming. I'm considering making a community post on the 4th about what it is so people don't get confused on the 5th. Think about it. All right. Appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.